I hope so. Let's see. Is it easy to do this? Should be. Okay, well, we went live and it's a black screen. This is in case anybody actually is really on top of it, which I doubt. So then what I'm using is OBS Studio, cool free software, which is probably one of the coolest softwares I know next to FFmpeg. So we're going to go to our little title card here, see how that is. We have it set up so we just click a couple of buttons and it fades in. Adventures in Second Life. Second Life, what is it? Virtual world. I've done a lot of videos in Second Life. It's something I've been into for over 20 years, and it's cool. And then we go into, we kind of fade into where I am here. Cool. I'm in my house on my property in Second Life, a virtual world. Imagine a map, and you have an avatar, whatever you want to call it. It could be anything. You call it a cursor, and you could move around this map. Now that map, let's say it has divided up into property that you could buy and sell. And in Second Life, it works like that. So I said all that to explain that this is my house, which I built and decorated over many years, actually. And this is a cool little spot in my house. My house doesn't have a bathroom or a kitchen or any of that stuff. A lot of people that build virtual houses, they have all that stuff to really try to get into it, to do role playing, whatever. But for me, it was, it's just a kind of the house I built is very, it's the idealistic vision of something I got from Frank Lloyd Wright, what you could have, and I could do a lot different, but this is a basic idea. And, to have my books that I have, not an extensive, crazy library, and just, all the aesthetics. And so one thing about this house is this meditation room. And I might as well say a few things about it since I haven't before. There are some Tibetan thangkas on the right wall there. These are, the middle one is a thangka. The others are just Tibetan imagery. Tibetan Buddhism is very interesting. As a matter of fact, all the Buddhisms, there's so many types, they're all interesting. And you really wonder, how, for me in particular, how the art had evolved. And for example, a friend of mine is in Thailand and he visited a temple and had a live stream of the exteriors and interiors of these Thai temples. And I went, oh my God, you have the gold Buddhist statues and things like that, but the architecture and everything is really a very unique flavor. And also outside of the buildings at this Thai temple were a lot of like symbolic animals and things that were built into the temple that, like for instance, going up a stairway that really aren't anything that I know of. Like, well, I see some things in Chinese Buddhism as well, animal symbolism. But anyhow, blah, blah, blah. Boy, I get off on it, don't I? There on the right wall, we have two Buddhist paintings. In the center, that's Milarepa, actually, who is, one of the stories is that, he's listening. I don't know if this will come into focus or not, but, listening to the word, his ear. There's actually a lot more to that. So, yeah. Second Life, sometimes you can see it's not really rezzing in, not sure why. That's okay. And this front piece here is very cool. This is from the Self-Realization Fellowship. It's a card that they produced. You fold it. And I have one of these, and basically it's just like kind of thick paper, and you can fold it on those two lines there, and it will stand up by itself. Now, in this case, I just did a scan of it, and it's just sitting flat. And these are the cool dudes. This is the Self-Realization Fellowship. I'm not a member of it, but these are people, especially Jesus, that I really admire. We have Lahiri Mahasaya here. This is Babaji. Lahiri Mahasaya was in the lineage was under Babaji. We have Krishna, who isn't really in this. I don't know why the Self-Realization Fellowship decided to do that, but here we have Jesus and Krishna. We're really outside of the Self-Realization Fellowship guru scene. And then we have Paramahansa Yogananda Ji, who was the founder of Self-Realization Fellowship. And then we have Sri Yukteswar, who was the teacher of Yogananda. And Sri Yukteswar was under Babaji, as I recall. Been a while. The symbol here is the Sanskrit for Om, the universal symbol. So this is just a cool place. Two great quotes here. Thy will be done. That's really a Christian trip. It is basically, to whatever you ascribe. If you believe in any sort of higher power, whatever it is, magneticism, to ascribe the ultimate power to something, then to that something, you could say, thy will be done, or thy, what is thy, whatever it is, your power. You could say, chi, or the force, or whatever, man. What was I going to say? Zeitgeist. But that's not really the word. Zeitgeist being, the present situation, you might say. But that doesn't mean that. Thy just means thy, whatever you think might be responsible for this universe. Big Bang, okay. Big Bang will be done, and that goes into a really interesting neighborhood of, purpose. I was going to walk around in Second Life. I'll still do that here for a few minutes. But here I am just taking advantage of this streaming and and I was thinking about, why do I do this? Well, it's, after work, play around on Facebook, throw some images up there, and I like to create something. And I've been using Midjourney to do image creation, and I might do, I don't know, do some artwork, other kinds of artwork, do an animation, do a fractal, which I haven't done for a long time. But I feel like doing some kind of creative thing. I don't want to, not interested in just watching something. I like watching a lot of stuff, but there is a time for that. So yeah, that's part of it, to do this. If there's one person that watches it, cool. That's enough. For me, it doesn't matter if there's none that watch it, because it's an exercise. The streaming, is that working? Right now it's supposedly going through Restream to YouTube and to Facebook. It's all free, and just do that, the technology, using OBS to do the streaming. Then there's there is what there's another aspect to this. Well, of course, there's the aspect of using your brain to speak, and using your vocal cords, which are kind of giving out on me right now. Excuse me, frog in my throat. I think I'll clear it. Just a moment, please. Well, that should be better, I think. Yeah, so the streaming, streaming Second Life, what is it? Yeah. Using technology to do something, and then, as an older person, to do something. You know, you're using your mind, you're using your brain to do things. Another part is, hey, I'm showing this trip. This is kind of one of my inner trips. You know, this little meditation space. But really, I sit here. I used to sit here a lot more. But yeah, some Alex Grey posters in the back. Great place. Yeah. The dude. This is my dude, man. He's like pretty old now. Got some cool steampunk glasses there. Yeah, so those, like I said, you know, this portrait of these Self-Realization Fellowship was founded by Paramahansa Yogananda, you know, and he has like shrines in Los Angeles, down near San Diego. And he really was one of the ones of this wave of gurus who from India kind of rode on the wave of the hippies' interest in Eastern religion. All kind of meshed together. But Paramahansa was in LA long before the hippie trip. I mean, he was there 20s, I think. Yeah. So anyhow, also Mount Washington. So he has 3 places. And this card was made by his thing, you know, and those are his gurus, and they included Christ and Krishna to make this cool thing. And for me, like I said, I don't belong to Self-Realization Fellowship. I dig all these guys. I'm very, I see them all as valid teachers. They have good things to say. I always adhere to the idea that, you know, if you want to seek those kind of inner spiritual truths, that you have to look inside yourself. It's all there. You don't need any teacher or any religion or any trip, but you do, you know, of course, gurus, teachers, and religions, they can help you to do that for yourself, which is very obvious, you know, through their books or their raps or whatever. You pick up stuff that you can use, tools that you can do the greater thing, which is when you go into it, you know, for me, I think that's one of the keys. If you can go into the spiritual trip knowing that, you know, that you are the key whatever way to achieve maybe some kind of spiritual awareness, consciousness, or whatever, that it's all reliant on you. If you go into it like that, then you can pick and choose from all the other stuff, you know, that's out there that's on the same kind of wavelength. And if you do it the other way around, it's more difficult, because if you say, oh, well, this guy, you know, Bob Dobbs, he's got the trip, and you go there, but you're saying, I don't have it, he has it. In the end, you find out that you had it in the beginning. So yeah, that's pretty heavy, man. I'm watching the clock here. I always say a minimum I'll do 10 minutes. I think YouTube videos, they like 15. So let's do the trip, man. We're going to do the exploration. So kind of stand up here. Yeah. Go down this hall of Alex Grey. Yeah. Yeah, I did all these. Basically, how I did them was I had scans or JPEGs or whatever of these, and then in Photoshop put frames on them. You know, they're just flat images, but then you assign it to an object. So if we click here, if I say edit, and if let's say I click on this, what you can see here, should be able to see. You can kind of see it. I'm not sure why. Not sure. Oh, there we go. You can see some of the coordinates. This is a cube that's been flattened and whatever. Anyhow, enough of that. Not too technical. We're going to go explore a place. The hall. We come into the main room. This used to be my desk only, but then I threw this piano in there, which is really fun to play with. Amazing programming in that thing. It's not just sitting there. It does stuff, man. It animates the avatar, and yeah, very, very cool. I mean, almost every corner in my little place here is got great stories. So what we're going to do, as we usually do, we'll go out here to the deck. And we're going to look on the map and find some place to drop into for fun. So we pull up the map here, and I'm probably going to go for another maybe 5 minutes. Do you believe it? On the map here, I've already explained many times. I'm not going to do it again in depth, but basically there are the original Linden Lab, who runs Second Life, their original property, which my place is down here. Then if you zoom out on this map, what you'll see slowly appearing is a constellation of Sims out here. So one of the things I like to do on a live stream is just go out here and look around and find something and zoom in on it, jump in and see what we got. So how do we do this? Well, these are resing in now. Here we see there's quite a few people in this particular private sim. These are private sims. These are not part of Linden Lab. You have to pay, let's just use a number, $400 a month to have one of these, this much real estate. Each one of these squares represents, you can have X number of objects on it. So, everything uses up CPU. Once you have one of these, you can do a lot of things with it. You can terraform it. That means you can create lakes and mountains or deserts or forests. You can landscape them. You can put architecture in there. You can put role-playing games, a lot of things. And these areas are pretty large. If you're at one end of it and it's, it takes a while to walk across one at the relative speed of what it would take a human to walk across it. So we see a few things. I look for structures. This has some structures. Also the name I look at. If there's people in there, I won't go in any of these private ones. Now this looks interesting. This looks fairly complex. Now the thing is when I click on this, I can go land on that. But there's a chance that it's so private that they don't want people that aren't part of their community or whatever members to be there. So we'll see what happens. If we get kicked out right away, we'll go find another one. Let's see, the region, okay, it's only a simulator error. So that's cool. So this is what we're going to do. This is going to be our another 5 minutes. I gave the whole rap about showing my little meditation room and why I do live streaming and why it doesn't really matter. Now, one thing to keep in mind is my computer is I would say, it's not a gaming computer. It's not an old computer. It's just an average computer. So it's not really made to, if you have a gaming computer, this is a lot better experience. Okay. Things are resing in. That's what we say for resolution. Things are raising in. We somehow ended up in this, somebody's foyer, might call it. And I would like to get a better view of where the hell what's going on here. How did I get in here? Okay, there we go. That's what I want to see. Oh yeah. Get some obstacles here. Oh, I'm inside this glass wall. Oh, I see that now. Okay. A couple of ways we can solve that. There's the door, I think. Okay, cool. Easy enough. So, we landed on this sim. Let's see if we can fly up. Yes. Okay. All right. Okay, this is great. This is actually very, very cool. If we go back to the map, takes time to fill in. There, you can see. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. Right, so you can see where I am. That's that gold bit, and this triangle here is the my field of view. Okay, now what we're seeing here is that, yeah, those apartment buildings. I could turn my draw distance up a little bit, but those are all kind of, I think, fake places. They're just facades. Okay, so, oh, very interesting. How the hell did they do that? Huh. Okay. So we have a lagoon and very interesting complex here. Yeah, it's more like cityscape. Okay, I got it, man. Yeah, what they did. This is very cool, actually, what they did. Let's see, I want to see some more. Okay, it almost looks like they're still working on it. Oh man, it's good. It's really a cool sim. Okay, so what I think is happening is those buildings in the background are just background, like a backdrop. Let's prove that. Let's go over there and flip around. Yeah, there's nothing inside of them. They're just objects that have texture mapping. So this person, is using that as like a movie background, and then they built this place, which is really, really nifty. Let's drop down on this tree here and take a little walk around. Let's see, how do I do that? Let's drop down. Right, so we're here. Yeah, okay, perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. Yeah. I'm going to take a quick look around here. What I'm going to do, I don't know, how much is the time here? How much time have we been streaming here? 20 minutes. Okay. I'm going to take a 2-minute break and we'll continue. The cool thing is on Facebook, this disappears in about 2 weeks. On YouTube, it stays there, but then I delete it. So it's very ephemeral. That's a great word. Look it up. do the title card. Nice little fade in, fade out. Really easy with a clickable button. And then we do fade out to black like that. That's it. Till the next one. July, what is it? July 22nd, 2026. A Wednesday.